Now, before we get into how we just got one of the coolest moments in all of recent hip hop with what just went down, be sure to leave a like and subscribe so everyone can see how competitive hip hop and rap beef can actually be when everyone loves the sport of what they are doing. And now, with that said, when it comes to what just went down in hip hop, with what we have seen from three of the most iconic rappers of the last 15 years at this point. Well, really, the next era of competitive hip-hop, rap battling, and ciphering may have just been started, as with Ab-Soul, Joey Badass, and Big Sean linking up for a cypher together where the three of them rhymed against one another, and specifically, Soul and Joey went back and forth over everything that Joey had been saying about Kendrick Lamar and the entire West Coast and TDE in the beginning of the year. Well, with what just happened, we saw some of the most skilled lyricists on the planet defend the East and West Coast and battle directly in all of the essence of the precedent that Kendrick Lamar has set, as he has turned hip-hop back into a genre that actually cares about lyricism. And now with all of the bars and disses that were thrown out here, and with what all of this is gonna mean going forward very soon, well, really, these three MCs may have just opened a new way of big name rappers settling their differences once and for all. And now, before we go any further into what all of this is really about to do for hip hop as a whole, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton, and as this is right now the most important thing that has happened in hip-hop really this year outside of anything that Kendrick Lamar has done directly himself in terms of advancing the art form forward, really be sure to leave that like so everyone can see how amazing this is for the culture. And so now with that said, with what has just went down with Ab-Soul, Big Sean, and Joey, in an era where the demand for lyrical hip-hop has went up and a lot of MCs have been getting more competitive whether they have been leading onto it or not, we have finally seen how competitive and exciting lyrical rap can be outside of Kendrick Lamar's own run, as these MCs didn't just come together and hold back words here, but they really made this thing an all-time memorable cypher and back and forth where we are seeing some of the best MCs just use their talents on a level like we have not seen in so long. And now with Joey and Soul specifically, seeing these two go back and forth all over Joey's disses towards Kendrick Lamar and the West Coast earlier in the year, from his songs The Ruler's Back and Sorry Not Sorry, and just with the very idea of that matchup and seeing this get addressed live in of itself. I mean, while people were starting to make fun of Joey for a while because it seemed like he wasn't backing up these words anymore and just gave up, I think we got to take that back because he showed up here and stood on his words in an era where more rappers have been running away from their own decisions, and Joey literally decided to directly put himself where he had to stand on everything that he said and put his pen to the test in the most competitive space that a rapper can be in, which is of course surrounded by other great MCs. And now with all three of these rappers spitting some of the best lyrical performances that I have heard all year, and with Joey and Soul's verses specifically having major implications on where hip-hop will go next, as Joey has now started a bigger beef with the entire genre than ever. I mean, let's just get into what everyone said and what all this means. And now, since this really is one of the best lyrical competitions we have witnessed in so long, and everyone's debating on who won this thing and who had the best verse, to play along at home, I made a little scorecard that you can share around and crown the winner of this thing with, and please be sure to put up your answers and let me know who you think took the crown. And now, within this surreal moment of lyrical titans clashing, well, Big Sean kicked things off, and I have to say, while Big Sean always seems to be getting mixed reception with pretty much everything he does, and that has been the standard for about his entire career, he did come out strong here and set the tone for this just to be a straight bar fest. But now, while Big Sean was not really dissing here or engaging in this bigger back and forth like Soul and Joey were in terms of his bars being heavily directed towards specific things, people, and ideas, Sean still did talk crazy here and delivered a series of witty quotables. But now, with that said, when we look at Joey Badass's verse in this thing, and when we talk about it later and see how it almost feels like a successor to Kendrick Lamar's Control verse and that record as a whole in terms of what the sentiment of it is, well, as Big Sean was there and Big Sean is here, what we see is that he really didn't learn anything from that record, because both by going first and with just being Big Sean, I guess, he set himself up to be in a position where, despite coming in strong with very good material for his standards, he just got outperformed as this thing went on, as right after Sean tried to nudge Ab-Soul as he told him that Soul's wife said that Sean was gonna wash him here, Soul showed him that that wasn't gonna happen, because with Ab-Soul being on this stage and defending both himself in a time where he has been trying to gain his own momentum to do things like tour, which that just got announced, and that will definitely be an amazing experience, and at the same time, on top of his own career, he is also defending TDE, Kendrick, and the West Coast from what Joey said on The Ruler's Back and his other tracks. Soul had to get to work here, and of course that's exactly what he did, as he showed that he is still one of the best lyricists lyricists on the planet, because really, in a time where Soul is getting ready to tour and is trying to remind the world that he is one of the best rappers out, he did exactly this, as with such bars like the whole section of this performance where he is referencing Superman icons, characters, and lore. I mean, this is just the art of wordplay in hip-hop at its finest. But now with Ab-Soul's verse, the most pivotal part of this entire performance is, of course, when Soul gets specific and addresses Joey's claims directly and tells him, "Joey, you put me in a sticky predicament. I had to show solidarity to my syndicate." And after Joey retorts, "Come on, Soul," Soul claps back and said that while pro-era the masters, that ain't even incorrect, it's still TDE till 3000 and forever. And now with Ab-Soul addressing how fellow TDE members Daylyt and Ray Vaughn also had been giving Joey the work in their own diss tracks to him, Soul really let Joey know that while he has love for him and what he has done in hip-hop, as these guys are all MCs and they are all representing TDE, they have to go at Joey and make him regret what he said in the first place. And they are just going to continue to compete with Joey for what he said on these tracks to start off the year, although as Soul states here, and it's very important, this is all for the sport of rap and for the betterment of the art form, which is why these guys are even in the same room in the first place, and why they are doing all of this, because again, there isn't actually any personal issue, but these guys just want to prove who is the best MC once and for all. But now after Soul ends this verse, which puts this beef into perspective and also tells Joey that he should be glad that Soul is not beefing with him directly, Joey takes over the entire last 3 minutes of this track, as he doesn't just stand on everything he said in the Ruler's Back and Sorry Not Sorry, but matter of fact, he doubles down on it and delivers the hard-hitting call to competition that I think we all have been waiting for. And now with this, Joey really delivers what I would say is a verse of the year candidate at this point, because with this line of bars, which read, "First off, I could never hate the West Coast, but since coming for Joe, F it, then let's go. Must have forgot what Dot said on Control. There's still a bunch of sensitive rappers in they pajama clothes. I guess this ain't no East versus West. I just think that I'm the best, as a matter of fact, I know." I mean, with Joey making claims like these, he tells us everything about what he was trying to do in the first place with what he started the year off with, and what his mission going forward is about to be. Which of course is that with all of this competition that he is trying to start and with what he is standing in, it seems like he just wants to spar whatever rapper wants to go face to face with him and prove that he is the very best no matter who is in front of him. And now while Soul is not engaging in this beef directly, and throughout this verse Joey specifically comes at TDE's very own Ray Vaughn and especially Daylyt, and Daylyt has already shown that he's been waiting on this and he will be getting ready to diss him back very soon, it seems like. When we put this into perspective, what I take Joey's words as is a call that is making it very clear that pretty much what he is trying to do is like a pickup game for rap, and as he references Kendrick Lamar's Control here and says that that is the type of energy that he is on, despite people forgetting what all that meant in the first place. What I think Joey is doing based on the way he started this thing and the plan and course he is taking it all in now is overall trying to create an exhibition where he is going to get to the point where after working his way up the ladder of TDE MCs and even just the West Coast as a whole, he earns Kendrick Lamar's respect and gets him to finally go back and forth with him, which is really, it seems like, what he has wanted this whole time. And when you look at what Joey is doing from this perspective and also see that this is all for the sport of rapping, I think you gotta give him credit, because this is what hip-hop is all about at its very core, and with Joey just challenging everyone and getting ready for more lyrical competition, all for the love and sport of this thing, this really can be one of the most fun and refreshing things that we have seen in hip-hop in quite a while. And so going forward, while Joey just made a play for the throne and is showing that we are about to see a string of lyrical back and forths that if he can succeed, we'll try to get him to do this type of thing with Kendrick Lamar. I mean, while that's all in the future, for now what we can expect is Daylyt and Ray Vaughn to respond with this. But in the meantime, as we wait for all of this, huge shout out to these 3 MCs for just putting hip-hop on and showing what actual competition in hip-hop can look like and what the art form should be when it's flourishing and people are just having fun and trying to prove who is the best, because at the end of the day, this is what hip-hop is all about. And now with all that said, let me know, what do you think about what we have just seen from Joey, Soul, and Big Sean? Who do you think had the best verse? And be sure to share those scorecards and let me know who you think really took the crown. Now, if you made it to this point in the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton, and as it looks like we are about to see a lot more fun competition in hip-hop like this, really be sure to leave that like and subscribe so you can stick around and stay up to date with all of it. Now, if you made it to this point in the video, if you already liked and subscribed, if you want to see how right before this all happened, I just went to Kendrick Lamar's tour and it changed my life. It was really that good. I am not overstating that. Check out the suggested video.